How's it going? Happy days to you. This video is about kind of big plans for the Texas oil field. Bit ambitious, but hey, you've got to shoot for it. And an explanation to further clarify my position with the driver that never showed up in the last video. And also a little bit about driver wages and what you can expect to get paid driving a truck. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, get it done. Alright? Cheers. Thanks for watching. How are we today out there in the trucking world? It is a slightly overcast day in Corinne, Utah. Just backed in to the second door in this place. The first one they sent me to the wrong door, but they were nice about it, so I was nice back. And yeah, I stink. Don't mind telling you. What kind of idiot goes all the way to Florida in a plane, picks up a truck and drives, after getting off a plane, gets loaded and does 500 miles, next day 1,000, next day 860, then the small one I drove up here for the last 250 miles, and I never took any clean clothes. Never thought it through very carefully. I thought, right, I don't want to travel heavily because I don't know how I'm going to be doing it. I don't want to carry bags, so I just put my jacket on and jumped in a plane. Bad move. I'm truck driver smelly. Probably only truck drivers get this, where you can't stand the smell of your own self. Terrible. My daughter has invited me down to their house in Layton, where my next drop is tonight at 2 AM, and I have to find some clean clothes. I can't show up to somebody's house. Her and her husband are on an Air Force base, and so you can't actually just drive up there. You've got to get into their car and be in that confined space, and so not good. The big man needs to get a scrub. So I'll go back to Brigham City and buy some more truck stop clothes. Not the brightest move. However, things are going all right now. Justin's on his way back. He'll be back this afternoon to Idaho. I'll get this unloaded tomorrow morning, final stop, run up there, grab something in this trailer, head out to Rock Springs, put this trailer onto his truck because it'll be ready by then. See, up here for thinking. And Brett, he unloads in Salt Lake tomorrow at 7 AM, 8 AM. He'll head up to Idaho, get his old COVID test, the last one, so, and he's getting loaded tomorrow. Wes is down the oil field, back home with Sandbox. I have to say, much better. No waiting times at the wells. Don't want to jinx it, because usually you say something like that, you do, but that's what's going on. I'm getting used to this 587. I don't like it that much because of the transmission for one. It's a 10 speed, and try to get into the 10th hole is like doesn't shift very good, but it's spacious, lots of storage space. There's a space for a fridge. I've noticed. I've had this for about 6 months and never really paid much attention to it. So if there's space for a fridge, it might have inverter in it, so I need to get looking around it. The bed is extra big, which is good. A lot of space between the seats and all over, so not too shabby. So I'm getting used to this, so I'll probably run this for a few weeks until that blue one's up and running, and we'll take it for the other side what I'm going to do. We do have plans for the oil field, freaking mega ones, I should tell you, but I'm hoping it involves premises and an office and workshop and somebody to look after the trucks and someone to park some big old freaking camper trailers so that we can have a base. Get a washing machine into the building, you know, guys to wash their clothes, a little kitchen thing, nice big telly so that when there's no work you can at least do something, somewhere to do some work in the trucks, I haven't spoke to Jeff about this yet, but I can maybe fly him down for 3 or 4 days a month to do the serious maintenance, and I could do the regular stuff. So just a thought. The oil field's great for beginners in the trucking game. Everybody says, oh, the oil field, it's for the, you know, the elite people go to the oil field. Well, maybe if you're in North Dakota hauling oil, or hauling a tanker, or even production water, or even with water in it up there, because you can get the roll, and the roads are horrific in the winter time. There's a road that goes from Williston out to the Indian Reservation. I can't remember the number, 1844 or something like that. I remember seeing loads of wrecks on that. The year I went up there, I think there was 40 people killed that year, in 2012 or 13, something like that. Wow, it's nearly 10 years ago. Sheesh. Anyhow, Texas hauling sand, it's not like that. You're hauling a load. Right now Wes is on doing, I think it's 86 miles, and like where he's picking up, you drive in underneath a canopy, and you open the box, and then you drive under the silo, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. When I was doing it, I used to fill in my paperwork while I was getting loaded, so that when I got to the well I could just throw it into them. But the time it takes you to fill in your paperwork, you're loaded, and you just pull out again. No backing up, no docks, no tail swing, nothing. And then it's all flat land. The biggest adversary, big word for a Scottish guy at the end of a trip, but it's not that bright. The biggest adversary in the oil field is the wind. You know, it can blow in Texas. I've seen it blowing fields onto the road. Now that may sound, you know, if you're from Scotland or that, where it's wet a lot, the field actually blows onto the road like a snowdrift. The wind will get that hard, and that red sandy soil in Texas, you know, drifts right onto the road, you know. So, and it can feel, when you're empty with that big sandbox on there, it can feel like it's blowing you around quite a bit. But no, it's a good place for a beginner guy to go and get going trucking. I've got a few old trucks up there in Idaho that we just need to do a few things to, and maybe throw them down there and get serious about it, because I like it. You know, and it's more civilized. You want the rest of the game plan? The rest of the plan is this. So we have some trucks down there doing our thing, make a little truck wash, maybe, just a maybe, you know, maybe do some outside washes for people, and have a yard there where we can have a little setup like I explained earlier. But the other thought is that when we start running the reefers, the way I go to Texas is, to bore you, is take I-15 down to Springville to Love's there, and head over the hill to Price, down Highway 6, down through Moab, Farmington, Albuquerque, Klein's Corners, down to Roswell, across the plains, down through Big Spring, San Angelo, and then running to San Antonio, Houston, all that down there. So it misses, it's a nice drive, and it misses Wyoming winter, which is always a good thing. Nebraska can be the same at times, and so that's the way I go down there. And I would just run my trucks that are hauling reefer down through there as well. So in effect we'd have a little hub where the sand trucks are running, and anything else that you can get into an oil field, because it's an adventure, right? You know, you only have a go at this, you know, you're only on the planet once, let's get in and get a go. And if I can run the refrigerated trucks down through there, I can run them through there, wash them when you get there. You know, it's always pretty decent weather in Texas. You know, you don't get this stuff where well, we did this winter, sorry, where things freeze up to like for months on end. But we could wash the trucks, go running through there, wash the trucks running through there, and on top of that, any maintenance that's needing doing, a driver could pull into our own yard. You know, we know where some good food places are. A guy could make that a stop off, running through there while he's getting something to eat, doing his laundry or whatever. We could be washing the truck, changing the oil, doing whatever we need to do, changing a tyre, and that could be our little hub, you know? Not a bad idea. Same as if we get loads out of Vegas, LA, going to the, you know, it's a good spot right there, especially because I like running Texas. So that's a wee idea that's bouncing around my head. Another thing that's been going through my head lately is wages. You know, we had the driver. Hey, and by the way, there's been a lot of people comment on this driver that abandoned the truck, right? And in my mind, and it's me that pays the consequences of somebody not showing up, right? So people come on to this, make comments, not on the channel, on the Facebook page, and they say, what did you obviously did something to hack him off or piss him off or whatever, you know. It's obviously your fault. What did you do to the driver? What did you do? You obviously lied to him and it wasn't what he said. Let me make it clear. That guy, company he was supposed to start 2 weeks before. I run a truck specifically on a load to Florida, and Paul went down there, and miraculously he sat his phone on top of a truck, and his phone got run over, and he lost his numbers, couldn't call us, couldn't email us, couldn't have any way to contact, which is, you know, if there was $1 million lying on the table, he could have contacted the broker that put him in contact with us for a job. That could have been happened. Loads of ways he could have contacted us, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt, right? A few days later we heard from him. Oh, I lost my phone, I really need the job, I want the job. Okay, well, why don't we just fly you up to Idaho? Oh, I can't fly, you need to rent me a car. Well, I checked the price of rent, a one-way car rental from there, it's about $800, I'm not paying that. So I said, next time we have a truck down there, we made a date, made a plan for him to pick up. Paul got a load specifically down there to pick this guy up and give him the truck. He sent pictures, he was all enthusiastic. I got a personal story that I don't want to disclose about that happened to him on the first day he was supposed to start. Failure to launch again. And then he said, I'll be okay for tomorrow, I'll definitely be up tomorrow, I'm on it. Next day he was supposed to pick up, didn't contact us at all. The broker, I called him at 10, he was supposed to pick up at 10, no answer. The broker called him, somebody else called and said, just found this phone at the side of the road. Don't know whose it is. Sorry. So, answered the number that wasn't my number, see? He was all enthusiastic with Paul. Paul took him out for lunch. Some people live in a fantasy land where they like to have the truck sitting there and do what they want. Well, you know what? The truck can't sit at somebody's door. You cannot not show up for a load 2 days in a row. So I had to fly. I flew Paul home that night at my expense to give this guy the truck. So he didn't travel across the country for the job. When I was in North Dakota, guys drove all the way up there thinking he had a job, and they had to go for a road test, and they've never driven in snow, spun out, get out of the yard, bring it back, you're done, no job, drive all the way back again. I'm not like that. I haven't lost any drivers. Paul was going to work in Nebraska for a little while for personal reasons, but we're still best of friends. We don't treat people badly, we're nice to them. So anybody that's on here making their smart comments about, oh, you must have lied to him, it's not the driver's fault, the trucking companies mess us about, tell us lies, mislead us. I don't. I pay my guys extremely well. They get to choose where they run, they get to say what they do, they treat me, we're friends, that's it. So the guy had every opportunity. When I drove down here and got the truck, I had to find where it was on the tracker system. I had to send the police out to it to make sure the driver wasn't lying dead in the sleeper. So, did everything by the book. And then I get in the truck and there is a note. I've thrown it out a lined A4 piece of paper with it written on it. Lost my phone. That's it. Lost my phone. Well, guess what? You've lost your job. Beat it. That's just terrible, terrible behaviour. He said my phone number, Paul's phone number, everybody's trying to call him. He's got email addresses. Poor show. No class. People come on here saying, oh, you must have lied to him, you misled it. You're just like every other trucking company that misleads the drivers. Bull crap, okay? That sounded like a bit of a rant there, but it wasn't meant to. But I'm not getting people coming on here saying, ah, you've done wrong by this poor man. Yeah, right. I'm out of pocket hundreds and thousands of dollars with flights and time off and having to, anyway, that's that. But as far as wages go, that's a subject that I'd like to talk about. I'm kind of running out of time here, but we pay in a percentage. Drivers right now are loving life because the freight rates are high, so they're making well. I do not adjust percentages when the rates go up. They get the rate confirmation from me. What I get, they get. And they get a cut of that, and that is it. And the way that works better for me is that if they have to deadhead to get a better load, there's no money in that for them. You know, I don't want to nickel and dime them to death with little short loads. They get onto big paying loads, they run like crazy, and they make good money. So we pay them the same as the oil field. If anybody's being oil field, there's a percentage. They're not all on the same percentage. They are now, but when somebody comes at first, they don't get the same as the guys that are already here that have proven themselves to be good runners. So if you're interested in making some proper dough and you're new, we'll give you a go in the oil field. You know, get down there, cut your teeth. Don't be afraid of the Texas oil field. It is the easiest gig out there. You pull in, like I said, get loaded easy. You pull into well, a U-turn, turn 4 little clocks. Go to my simple sandbox video. You'll see how easy it is to unload a sandbox and to get loaded. It's straightforward, nice and easy. Nice and easy does it, and you run a percentage of the load. Good easy work, you know. Don't get tired, you don't have to go to the East Coast, you don't have to be in loading docks. Makes you wonder why I'm doing this in a loading dock. So anyway, thanks for watching the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, get on there and do it. I would really appreciate it, honestly. I want to have a couple of thousand subscribers by the middle of the summer. Massage the ego. Thanks for watching. See you later.